Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for the third and final part of the Q&A, so let's go ahead and do this. Alright, first question. Hey Jason, if a person is sick with the flu or cold or such, do you think it's fine to still go to the gym and get in some very low volume work, like one set per exercise with moderate weight just to keep the motor patterns and maintain some strength? Or do you think it's better to not go at all, assuming the sickness is not that bad? Obviously, thank you, coach. Alright. It really depends on what you have. If you have a cold, you need to go do your normal training. All right. A cold is not an excuse to miss a structured, scheduled workout. And you shouldn't be changing your workout just because you have a cold. Go in and do your normal training. Do your normal training. If you are sick enough that you have something contagious or that's going to debilitate you to the point to where you have to train with less volume, you need to stay home and keep your ass in bed. Because number one, you don't need to give everyone in the gym the flu. Again, if you have anything particularly contagious, you don't need to be contaminating the whole gym, just like you don't need to be contaminating people at your work. Don't be that person. Stay home. Number two, if you can't train with your normal training, then you're going to really stimulate nothing. We can argue, okay, you get the benefits of a deload type workout, but not really, because you're going to waste resources recovering from that workout that you need to be spending recovering from your illness, which is going to make your illness last longer and keep you out of the gym longer. This is undesirable. This is not what you want. So ultimately what it comes down to is determining how sick you are. If you're able to train, then you need to come in and train normal. And if it's something that's so bad that you can't train normal, then you need to stay home and spend that time in bed recovering from your illness. All right, next question. Hello, Jason. I want to run the Soviet squat program 9-week version, which accounts for deadlift, squat, and press. How can I go about accessory work like dips, chins, front squats, ab work, also in regards to injury prevention? And are these systems that can be run back to back? That's funny, bro. All right, I can tell you've never run a Russian squat program. You don't do accessories. Unless those accessories are programmed into any Russian program that you get, you run the program as written. And do not, I repeat, do not add anything else to it. If you do, when you overtrain or you get hurt, tell everyone that you did it, and everyone can laugh at you and tell you not to be stupid and do it again. And I know you're new to this, and that's okay. Russian squat programs are tough. You need to follow the programs as written and do not try to add accessory work. Remember, accessory work is only there to add extra volume that you can recover from. Accessory work doesn't make you stronger than doing the basic lifts. In other words, if you could do more volume on your main exercises and still recover, there would be no purpose in doing an accessory exercise. People say, what? Yeah, why would you? There's no point. Squatting makes you stronger on squatting than any other lift does. Deadlifts make you stronger at deadlifting than any other lift does. This is pretty straightforward. Specificity. These are very intensive programs. Trust me when I say that you're not going to be able to recover from adding accessories. Just run it and get the results and be done with it. And as far as running them back to back, well, that depends on how much you can handle. Not everyone can run a bunch of Russian programs back to back. You'll have to play that by ear. You might not want to run it again afterwards, or you might be really invigorated from the squat strength that you gained and the pressing strength you gained and run it again. Base it on how you feel. All right, next question. How much of an effect can a high versus low sodium diet have on your body's appearance? Is a high sodium diet really as detrimental to how lean a person looks as it's made out to be? No, it's been vastly overstated. In fact, it's not the high sodium that's the problem for most people, other than some people who are just genetically predisposed to this due to weird stuff with their aldosterone. That's not the problem. It's the shift in balance. Meaning if you've been consuming 2 grams of sodium a day and all of a sudden you have a day where you consume 5 grams of sodium, you're going to bloat. You're going to bloat from that, right? But had you been consuming 5 grams of sodium every day for the past 3 weeks, you're probably not going to be bloated from it anymore. It's the shift in sodium. Furthermore, there are methods of sodium loading that even some natural bodybuilders use at showtime to help them fill out and then still look shrink wrapped. So you need to understand that sodium loading and all of this stuff, there are protocols to which sodium loading can actually make a person look both fuller and more ripped at the same time. There are protocols around this. This is not my wheelhouse. This is not my forte. You're going to need to go find someone who can explain to you how to do that. However, you also need to understand that's temporary also. It's not something you do full time. So as far as a lot of this goes, it's not the problem of the sodium itself, it's inconsistent intake. By that same token, if you follow a really high sodium diet and all of a sudden you cut your sodium really low, you're also going to see a negative impact on the appearance of your physique. So it's just as detrimental to go the other direction very dramatically also for a day or two. You're going to lose a lot of size and fullness, and you're going to look flatter, which is going to make you look smaller and fatter also. So again, consistency is usually the key to looking the same consistently day after day. All right, next question. Hey Jason, why does the hack squat machine tend to cause knee tendinitis in some lifters and not to others? Simply put, because it is a machine that allows your body to go into positions depending on how you place your feet that are not normal movement patterns for which our skeletal muscle structure is designed to handle. That's why properly done squats very rarely cause this problem in knees. But machines tend to cause problems like this. And the hack squat, it's because it will allow you to use really weird foot positions and put your knees at weird angles that they are not used to, that you would not be able to do with a standard barbell squat. So again, kind of the point I always make, there's these myths that have been perpetuated for years and years that machines were safer, but they really aren't. The reality is a lot of machines force you into paths or allow paths that are really unnatural movement patterns. And some people say, well, it allows you to build different muscles and whatever. You know what? You can get all of that you want out of basic free weight exercises. But what machines do tend to do is give you the ability to get locked into positions that are not natural or normal movement patterns for you. And in some cases, that can lead to additional tendinitis and overuse injuries. So again, maybe just avoid the hack squat, problem solved. Leave that for the bodybuilders, the guys who want to do it for whatever reason, to prance around in their panties on the stage, and go ahead and just stick to barbells. You'll be a lot better off for it. All right, next question. Hey coach, how much strength/muscle do you think I would lose taking 3 to 4 weeks off due to an injury? Any advice as to how you approach injuries, and should I be eating at maintenance calories to give my body the right nutrients to heal itself? It's a wrist injury and affects nearly every lift. Thanks. Well, what I'm going to say is that if you have no choice but to not train at least a lot of your lifts because of an injury, and I'm going to tell you is don't sit around and worry about it. Meaning, like with anything else in life, worry about things that you do not have the ability to change will elevate stress levels. You'll elevate your cortisol levels, and you will lose even more muscle as a result of it. The best thing you can do is to not let yourself get stressed about it, accept it, and go find things that you can train. I don't care what your injury is. I don't care if you got your arm or your leg hacked off. There are big lifts you can still do. There are lifts you can do in a leg cast and an arm cast and a sling. There are lifts you can do with your arm missing. So if there are lifts you can do with your arm missing, why can't you go do something? Why can't you squat? Find a hand position that you can get away with that doesn't strain your wrist while it's healing. Get under a barbell squat. If you get under a barbell and do a bunch of squatting, it will actually not only allow you to continue to progress on the squat, it may help you hold on to some of the muscle in your upper body so that you don't actually lose it. So go in and train the hell out of your legs. Train your legs. There's nothing stopping you from squatting. Get in and do it. And don't sit around worrying about it, feeling sorry for yourself, and don't stress over it. because the amount of muscle you're going to lose is largely irrelevant, isn't it? You can't control it. So get in and control what you can. Focus on what you have the ability to control, and that's the fact that you can still get in and squat. Once you get in and squat your ass off, you don't have to worry about upper body recovery. Make some progress on your squats. Use that 3 or 4 weeks to put another 10 pounds on your squat. And then come back and rebuild everything that may have shrunk a little bit. But I promise you, if you get in and do that, it'll help stave it off. And that way you'll do something you can actually worry about, that can give you a positive benefit, and don't dwell on the other. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.